Okay, welcome. Welcome to the social media success strategies. I don't know, that's a tongue twister. Class number 1. And I'm so happy to have everybody who's here and everybody who's registered. So there's a lot of you who are registered who aren't quite here yet, or maybe you're just going to hear the recording. So that's all good. One of the things that is a benefit of being here is you get to ask questions. So what I would like to do is invite you. I'm going to ask you guys who are here, but if anybody comes and throughout the class, to put your questions in the chat. And that way I'll either get to them here or I will get to them in the Facebook group. Jill, hi Jill, welcome. So Happy New Year, everybody. And this is going to be, I don't know, we'll probably go about an hour. I'm offering this class once a month because as you know, I have been known as the Facebook Queen. And the thing about being the Facebook Queen is that it's just not that sustainable anymore for any of us to be the Facebook Queen, because we really need to understand all of social media and really all of how to grow an online presence that is monetizable. So what I want to do is I want to talk today about your whole online presence. Okay, so your overall online presence, and I want to talk about the things that are new and have changed around social media. My goal is to give you the tools you need to leverage the power of the internet to have a sustainable business with ongoing referrals and clients. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to just start by asking each of you, introduce yourself, you know, your name, your business, and if you have any very specific questions like that are just burning. And I love Elaine's question. So we'll just start with Elaine because that's such a great question.
I put them in your chat.
Oh,
as
okay.
well.
Okay, good.
I'm experiencing two things. First of all, the first thing I said was, it's hard getting heard with the noise.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody is taken to the freeway and I'm stuck in traffic and I can't get to my exit. So that is definitely happening to me. And I'll share the time with other people. That's one of my first things, but I have two other questions I put in the chat.
Okay, and you can introduce yourself.
Oh, Elaine Hausman, Video Performance Coaching, Larkspur, California.
Welcome.
Nice to see people I know I'm connected with.
Great, welcome. Okay, let's go to Debbie.
Good morning, ladies. My name is Debbie Turnus. I'm a confidence and accountability coach and also the co-founder of Authentic Friendships, which is a fun community for women to connect. And I live in Petaluma, California. I don't have any specific questions yet.
Okay, great. Welcome. Okay, let's go to Jill. Oops, you're muted.
Okay, how about now?
Okay.
Great, thank you. Hi, I'm Jill Shearer, and I am recently located from, excuse me, Santa Rosa, California to the Austin, Texas area. I've kind of taken a break from my business, which is Rodan & Fields skincare, during moving and such. And of course, the pandemic has definitely entered into that picture as well. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when I started my business, I got a lot of business from Facebook, and that has just dropped off considerably. So I just feel like I need to get a refresher here and a reboot and restart and all that sort of thing.
Great, awesome, welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Laura. Welcome to Rose, and we're just doing a quick introduction. And if you have any burning questions, and if you don't have a burning question in this moment, you will probably in 2 minutes, and feel free to put them all in the chat because I'll either get to it in this call or I will get to them all in my Facebook group. Okay, Laura.
Hi, everyone. My name is Laura McKenna. I live in the Hudson Valley in New York. I am the founder, owner, and lead coach at Strength and Shield Coaching. I help high-performing, health-conscious women to get their lives back. And I am on this call, Diana, one, because I adore you, and two, because as I am writing content, I feel like I'm doing a lot of informing and not a lot of connecting. And I want to write content that connects in an emotional way with my ideal client, and doesn't just, I'm not just another talking head expert, but someone who really understands and emotionally connects with who I'm looking to serve.
Awesome. You guys are just asking all the perfect questions. Okay, good to know you're in the right place. Hi, Rose. Introduce yourself and any burning questions. Oops, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Can you hear me now? Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Roseberg Carey. I'm the founder of Rose Aurora Art Studio. It's a new company that I started in mid-October after I closed my 20-year-old business that I could not be in person with my clients. It was a franchise. And so that was fine because it was actually something that was in the back of my head for the next 5 years, but I guess we sped up a little
Sooner than later,
forward,
right?
but it can't be any better time than, yeah. So, and so I am here because I just want to learn a lot. I want to see if, what should I be looking for, and ask the right questions, and then be prepared for not being obnoxious when I need the help.
Right.
At least I'll know what I need.
Good.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so yay, welcome everybody. I'm just going to read Elaine's 2 questions in the chat because they're really good questions. My newsfeed is entirely my Facebook groups. I can't see anything from other friends or outside to the public. Happened about 4 days ago. Okay, I might have to look at your what happened. So one thing that might have happened is you might have accidentally changed your post setting from public to only me. I have my friend Cindy, she calls it like sometimes we fat finger things on our phones. I have really fat fingers, so I'll do things on my phone that I don't know I'm doing because of my fat fingers. So I've done that before. And so otherwise, I'm happy to just help you with that offline and figure it out.
Bless you.
Number 2, am I right that the conversation and activity in groups does not contribute to getting you more views? Okay. Let me see. So no. Yes, in the sense of in your general news feed, but you get more views in your group. So that's why groups are so powerful, is because when you're in a group, everybody sees your posts that's in that group. And so the goal is to get people in a group, give value in the group, and have it be active and productive for people. And then everybody sees everything you're doing. So Elaine, I want to just I love your question about trying to be heard through the noise, because honestly, I didn't know it, but that's really what my whole talk is about. So I might call that my next talk, how to get heard through the noise. So just to give you guys a little background, I'd started to say I'm kind of migrating, transforming myself from being the Facebook queen to the internet marketing queen. I'm rebranding because the thing is that it's really not just all about Facebook. And it's not just all about social media. Social media is a marketing tool, okay? It's not for selling, it's for marketing. So you have to understand that. And that's what I want to delve into today. But before I delve all the way into that, I just want to talk to you, you're probably going to want to take a lot of notes. So feel free to get your notepads. I'm going to send you all the recording, so you'll have the recording. I'm going to keep everybody muted so that there's no background noise. And if you have questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat. So how this structure is going to go is we're going to start out with kind of like the do's and don'ts. And this is going to be a monthly thing. And the reason I started this class is because I used to teach a 6-week Facebook class. And literally I taught it almost every month last year. I started a new one. And I would joke and say to people like, whatever I'm going to tell you was true as of last night. And literally I would be showing someone something on the shared screen, and Facebook would like reboot and reset like mid-sentence. So it's just not sustainable to devote a 6-week class to Facebook anymore. I do have an 8-week class that's all social media, but I'll talk about that later. But what I am doing is I'm offering this class, and it's going to be like, you know, what's happening, what's new with social media. It's free, and it's going to be once a month on the second Thursday at 10 a.m. to just, you know, and there'll probably be other stuff that shows up in my Facebook group. So I want you guys to join my Facebook group. It's wholeheartmarketing.com with Diana Konkoff Morgan. And I probably will be streaming this into there after this month, but I'm getting things set up to do that. And I just put it in the chat for anybody who wants to go join right now. I'm also offering a bi-monthly, which is going to be the odd months of the year. So it'll be like January, March, May, etc. And this month it's going to be on the 25th of January, but in the future it's going to be the third Monday of January. I mean, the third Monday of the month from 9 a.m. to 11:30. And it's going to be a 2.5-hour Quantum Leap social media boot camp, Whole Heart Quantum Leap social media boot camp. And it's going to be focused. Okay. So these talks are going to be focused, and that's going to be focused. And the focus is going to be as follows. So and I'll send you guys an email about this, but I just want to talk about it so you get the context of this call. So in the January, we're going to talk about message, content strategy, and then editorial calendar, which is what we're going to focus on today. February, which will be the March Quantum Leap class, is going to be about the marketing funnel and how to use your social media to promote your freebie. March is going to be about email marketing and creating campaigns to grow your referrals and network, and that'll be the May Quantum Leap. And April is going to be social media, creating campaigns to grow referrals and clients. So hopefully you get that, you know, there's 4 pieces to this. There's the message, the plan, which is your funnel, email marketing, and social media marketing. And one of the reasons I'm so committed to this is because I have seen so many people doing all these things and they're not monetizing. So I want to show you guys why you're not monetizing and how to monetize. So I'm excited. You can tell I'm super excited about this. And so the internet, I always say the internet is the great equalizer, because you can look like you're doing exactly the right thing. I'm posting and I'm doing this and that and the other, and nothing's happening. You're not getting any results, and you're getting crickets, like Elaine said. You're just, you know, I feel, am I invisible? Am I even here? Hello? You know, and so the reason is because you have to start from the right place. Okay. And the right place it's twofold. It's your message and it's your actions. And that's what we're going to talk a lot about today. So your success in anything you do on the internet, and this is like the whole internet, not just social media, depends on who are you talking to and what are you selling. So what I'm teaching is the whole heart path to social media success. And this is specifically for a certain niche. And, you know, you probably saw my post that I put out recently, and I said, just because other people are doing it doesn't mean you should do it on social media, because it depends who are you talking to and what are you selling. So everything I'm saying is for a specific niche, which I believe you guys are all in. And that niche is coaches, authors, speakers, holistic practitioners, direct sellers and leaders, change makers, thought leaders, women entrepreneurs with a mission, a message, or a movement. In other words, people who are relying on relationship to build their business. You're selling yourself. So you may also be selling a product, which is why I say direct sellers, but you're selling yourself as well. And that's what you're selling on social media, is you're selling your know, like, and trust factor. Okay. So if that's you, then you're in the right place. And, you know, I know sometimes people are selling both. Like if you're in direct sales, you're selling a product and you're selling the business. Essentially selling the business is selling yourself. So because, you know, 10 people can stand up at the front of the room and say the exact same thing, and everybody's going to pick the person that they resonate with. So the goal is for you to be able to be visible and be heard on social media in a way that people can resonate with you. And this is tried and tested strategies that I've been in my business of whole heart marketing almost 15 years now. And it's what I did in my last business. Even though it wasn't so much of social media, it was still the same fundamentals. And I like to teach the fundamentals of internet marketing that don't change. There's always going to be technical things that are going to change, but there are fundamentals of how the internet works that are not going to change. So just tiny bit of background, because some of you don't know my background. I'm a recovered corporate misfit transformed into serial entrepreneur. And I turned my hobby into a business, a very successful business. And I had a wedding ministry, and I grew it to over 100 weddings a year and 6 other ministers in my ministry, and was among the top paid ministers in the Bay Area. And I did that in the last 10 years of my business by getting ahead of the curve on the internet and learning. I cracked the code on, at that time it was SEO, how do you get to the top of Google? And I figured it out, and I was very successful. And, that business morphed into whole heart marketing almost 15 years ago, because I realized that being in that work was very intense. It's a lifestyle that can only go so long. And, it was great. And, it was great. I turned my hobby into a business, and then in my avocation, and then it wasn't my avocation anymore. And so when I launched Whole Heart Marketing, I realized that I could really make a difference in the world by helping conscious, purpose-driven entrepreneurs to grow their businesses and to heal the planet with their businesses and their messages. And so I'm super, super committed to helping people like you to get your message out and to not walk away from social media, especially now. So my mission, the mission of Whole Heart Marketing, is to empower and educate thought leaders, change makers, and other entrepreneurs on a mission on how to master internet technology, to shine as a thought leader and expert, to foster increased communication, connection, and community among all people everywhere, to bridge the intergenerational gap that's been created by technology, and to leverage the power of the internet to create a sustainable business and life. And so that's what I'm passionate about. And I'm passionate about all of you being seen and being heard and not being invisible on the internet. Okay, so Elaine, I'm here for you and all of you. I just love that question. So, I also want to say that I'm passionate about people building a sustainable business and life. One of the things that I was frustrated with when I first started my wedding ministry was it was seasonal. So I'd have great months and, very low months. And so I got a business coach at that time. He was this 6 foot tall Korean Libra, amazing business coach. And he said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want year-round predictable income." That's what I said. And that's what I have today. I have year-round predictable income. And 5 years ago, when I had 2 major crises in my life, and I had to kind of put my business in cruise control, I was able to keep my business going. And my business didn't tank. It plateaued, but it didn't tank. And what you're experiencing now is me being back on my trajectory after 5 years. But most of you have seen me out there thriving and doing great. But a lot of that was because I have all these systems, and I have my marketing machine set up. And social media is a piece of that. It's how you fill the marketing machine. But if you don't have the marketing machine, then you don't have year-round sustainable income. You're always on the push. You're always on the hustle. So the marketing machine is the message, the plan, the email marketing, and the social media marketing. So as we move through 2021, move into and through 2021, the key words for social media are authenticity and connection. And it's more important now more than ever to have a message, a clear message, and to make authentic connections. The internet is a 24/7 networking opportunity, okay? And I'm going to be saying networking over and over and over again, because it's a networking opportunity, not necessarily so much about sales, okay? It's an opportunity to connect 24/7 and to really grow your business in a way exponentially that like nothing else offers you. So Lori, you might want to turn off your video because it's a little distracting with the all the movement. Thank you and welcome. So Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying." And that's what it's about on the internet. And that's one of my favorite quotes. And so what I want to say to you is that, and this is in direct response to Elaine's question about, you know, how do I become more visible? It's about making the connections. Okay. So you don't have to be visible to all 3+ million people. And trust me, you will never be. But you can be more visible to your people by making the connections, by like what Laura was saying about sharing authentic content that people can really relate to. It's about quality and not necessarily quantity. And it's easy to be seductive. It's very seductive to, you know, get into this whole like, oh, you know, I want this to go viral and I want to reach all these people and millions of people. And it's not likely you are going to do that. But you can, like, how many people do you really need to reach, right? We each represent, in 6 degrees of separation, like 50,000 people. So how many people do you really need to reach to have a successful, thriving business? I get that we're all on a mission to share our mission with our message with as many people as we can. But truthfully, to have a thriving business, how many people do you really need? And so I want to encourage you to really start to hone in on who is my ideal client. I only need to reach my ideal client. Exactly. Thank you, Laura. I only need to reach about 100 of them. Right. And, you know, that's the bottom line. So, so the interactions, you know, that you make on social media are every single one of those people. It's so crucial to think about each person as an individual. Okay. So the quality of those connections is what you're really thinking about versus the quantity. If you can't meet somebody, the next best thing is to meet them virtually. And to make the best of your virtual connections and interactions. Have the conversations. Care about what other people are doing. And this is so important. So Theodore Roosevelt and Zig Ziglar both said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Which, what I'm saying is, take the time to connect with people. You know, Debbie has her Authentic Friends community. That's what it's about. It's about taking the time to do that. And when you take the time to do that, it matters. And you'll find that you get response from people that you had no idea that you were even, they were watching you. And the other thing I want to say is, just because people are not liking, commenting, sharing your content does not mean they're not seeing it. So that it doesn't even mean that you're invisible. It doesn't mean you're not being heard. Okay. Sometimes, how many times do you read somebody's thing? You're like, oh, that's so cool. And then you kind of get distracted, or you forget to respond, or I don't know. Sometimes for me, I just don't respond. I loved what they wrote and I just didn't comment. I mean, maybe I put like or something, or sometimes I'm like, oh, this is like too deep for me to just put like, comment or whatever, and I can't really respond right now. And then I don't. Sometimes I'm reading stuff on my phone and I have to, if I'm on my phone, I have to text the content in because I'm not good at texting. I'm good at typing, but I'm not good at texting. So I'll text. And when I'm trying to text content into my phone, you know, it comes out so bad, it's too hard to fix it. And I say, screw it. right? How many times do people do that? So just because somebody didn't comment, it doesn't mean they're not seeing it. And it's like, it kind of makes me sad because we've all been conditioned, like, if somebody didn't like, comment, or share my stuff, they don't like it. You know, it's like, no, that doesn't mean that at all. Okay, so let's see. The goal of your social media, and I just had this epiphany in this last year, is to, like, I've been saying this new tagline, which is bring your whole heart essence to your online presence. And what I mean by that is the goal of your social media, the goal of your internet, everything, is to bring the essence of who you are as close as possible to if they met you in person. Okay, so like in the beginning of Facebook world, I used to say, you know, don't do anything on social media that you wouldn't do in person. In other words, don't go up and shove a card in someone's face at a networking event, and don't do that in any way, shape, or form on social media. And it's even deeper than that. It's how can I bring the true essence of who I am to social media so that people, it's almost like they're meeting me in person. And yeah, Facebook Live is a great way to do that. And writing blogs is a great way to do that. And, you know, being responsive is a great way to do that. So that's something you want to be thinking about is, am I bringing my whole heart essence to my online presence? Okay, so my other favorite quote is Thomas Jefferson said, knowledge is power. So I want to give you some do's and don'ts. And these are the latest do's and don'ts. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you things that are true about social media. Here's the thing, you guys. The bottom line is social media is for marketing, okay? So, you know, get over the frustrations of dealing with it. You know, what is Mark Zuckerberg's goal? He says his goal is to connect the world. What is his true goal? To make money, right? It's his business, right? So when I'm pretty sure that when Facebook started, their goal was not to support purpose-driven entrepreneurs like us and using Facebook for free to get our free organic reach. But if we're not there playing on Facebook, Facebook can't do what they need to do to monetize. So it's a win-win. But the thing is, we have to get over the whole like changes every 5 minutes and this and that and the other. And here's how you get over it. How you get over it is by knowing this is one of your marketing tools in your marketing basket. Okay, it's one way to market. Don't put all your eggs in the Facebook basket. So number one is don't delete your social media profiles. You know, I keep hearing people saying this, I'm going over to that social media platform. I'm deleting, I'm getting off of Facebook. I'm da-da-da. Don't do that. You're really just cutting off your nose to spite your face. Facebook's not going away. And by you doing that, you know, presumably you've invested a lot of time and money and effort into growing your online presence. So by doing that, you're really, you know, you're kind of diminishing your existing investment. The other thing is, don't leave social media. You know, continue to use it. Continue to use it the way you want to use it. There's room for everybody. Okay, you can totally bypass the negativity. You can totally bypass all of that chatter and be who you are with your tribe. Build your tribe. For now, groups are killer. Use a group. Notice how I said for now. Okay, so Facebook is already starting to censor content in groups. Eventually, they're probably going to start charging for groups like they did with pages. So I really want to encourage you to find a platform where you can have your own group off of social media. But you can use the public group, you know, to sort of connect with people and, you know, but you can't rely on it. So before I go to all of that, don't let the negativity silence you, okay? Like I love Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. You know, it's like rise above it, come to the 30,000-foot view of your core message and what you want to share and how you want to transform and inspire people, and share from that place. You know, just don't even get caught up in that other negativity. But don't let the haters silence you, because they will. Many times I've posted something on my social media that was not even political or anything, but something that I felt that I wanted to share. And, you know, the haters descend on the comments. And, you know, I have literally unfriended and unfollowed more people in the past year than I have in my entire life on Facebook. And I have 4,011 friends. And I didn't do it so I could make room for my 5,000 friends. I did it because I just don't want to deal with that anymore. You know, it's like, I get to do that, you know? So, so many of you may be feeling very defeated and discouraged and frustrated with social media, but there are still people for you to reach and help. So don't walk away from it. Try to rise above it. Okay. And that's a lot of what I teach people, is how to rise above it through how you interact with people, through what you share, through your content. You can rise above it. Okay. And you can succeed, and you can build a business using social media without, you know, just bypassing all of that other negativity. So stay in the game and play the game by using social media as a marketing tool. Don't use social media as your website, your database, or your mailing list, or you're going to be super disappointed. Okay. So you have to have your own online real estate, which is your website, your own database, and your own email mailing list, where you use whatever social media du jour to get people to your own online presence that you own, as much as we can own an online presence of a website. Facebook is a marketing tool. They're going to do what they're going to do. They want to monetize. You could end up, you know, here's some things that have happened to people. Trust me, I get these messages all the time. You can end up in Facebook jail. You can end up being shadow banned. And what that means is they just hide your posts and you don't even know it. You're right. You could, they're changing all the time. They censor content. They make new rules all the time, because again, it wasn't created for us to use it the way we're using it. And so they're always trying to like find the way to make us pay. So the goal is to build relationships and to use it as a network. And when you use your social media as a network, you're not going to have a problem. The shadow banning and the getting in Facebook jail, that can happen by accident. Recently, Facebook just really tightened on all of their bots and their word censoring and all of that. This is my funniest story. There was a guy who paid, okay, take this in, $43 million in ads, and Facebook banned him by accident. So it's clear that it's random, and they're like, you know, too big for their britches right now, which kind of makes me laugh. But you know, so don't take it personally, and don't let that be all the eggs in the only egg in your basket. I mean, like I had a Laura, put your question in the chat so I can know where it might fit in. I had a situation. I'm in Polka Dot Powerhouse, and last year, it wasn't this year, it was the year before last, they do this polka dot day, where in one day, everybody friends all the people in polka dot, and we like take over our polka dot presence on Facebook. So guess what? That was the day that Facebook went down for an entire day. And I wanted to be connecting with my people. So what I do, I'm like, oh, okay. So I just went to my email list. You know, I have an active, strong, amazing email list. So it's like, you have alternatives. If you get shadow banned or put in Facebook jail, you can go to one of your other social media platforms, or you can use your email. Okay. If you do try, and this is, I'm saying one sentence here. If you do go and check out other platforms that are arising right now, just research who they're funded by. Period. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, next. Don't Friend people you don't know. I used to say, well, if you know 60 people of the same, like you 60 of the same people, still go check them out, still go research them. Don't friend people you don't know, okay? Because it just creates annoyance later on. Okay, I'm going to read this question. This is a good one. Almost all of my posts end with a call to action. Read my blog, learn more about coaching, okay, that's if I wouldn't do all of your posts ending with a call to action. And I'm going to talk about that in a little while. And yes, the call to action qualifies as selling, and Facebook doesn't want you leading people off of Facebook, which I don't really care, but they will lower your reach on your posts because of that. So 10% of your content should be, the blogs don't count. I just don't even care about that. I mean, I think the blogs are fine, but the rest of the call to actions, I want to encourage you to do like 10% of your posting with that sort of even if it's a free thing, it's still considered promotional. So, let's see. Okay. A couple of other ones. Oh my God, I can't believe this just happened this morning. I got a Facebook Messenger message from one of my clients, and she's offering a free thing and a paid event, a free event and a paid event. Somebody has hijacked her post, just taken a picture of it, put it up and said, email me, I have tickets at a discounted price for her event. So I know, right? What will they think of next? So so when you see those things, like, so I went and researched the person. There were 4 of his profile. Just report it to Facebook, and report it to Facebook and move on. What are you going to do? It's not personal. They're just annoying people. So so the bottom line is, oh, one more thing. Don't use the same hashtags over and over again, especially on Facebook. I mean, on Instagram. If you use you might have a set of 10 hashtags that you use, switch them up, use like 3 here, 4 there, because if you use the same hashtags over and over again, especially on Instagram, the bots pick that up as spam, and then you'll get a lower reach. And let's see what else. Okay, so here, those are all my don'ts. Sorry, you guys. But do have a website. Even if you are in direct sales, you should have your own website as well. Have an email mailing list and have a plan and be strategic. No more random acts of social media. Make a decision about what you're going to monetize in your business, and then create something free and promote that on social media. Okay. So, Elaine.
Except that you just said they won't even like it if you promote something free.
Oh, okay. Right. Clarification. 10% of the time. So I'm going to get to my social media success formula, but I'll just talk about it right now instead. So over my nearly 15 years on the internet, not just social media, this is pretty much the whole internet, I have sort of concluded a social media success formula. So my social media success formula is 50% of your time on social media is branding yourself. It's on your personal Facebook, and it's liking, commenting, sharing, connecting, building relationships, and networking. If you do that for 50% of your time, then you are not going to have a problem with Facebook unless they make a mistake. And that's on your personal Facebook, and you can't pay someone to do that. That's the thing you have to do yourself. And that's the highest and best use of your time on social media. I'm going to say it again. That is the highest and best use of your time on social media. It carries more clout for you to like, comment, and share other people's content than it does for you to share your own. If you are not doing that 50%, the other stuff that you're doing on social media is not going to have as much clout. If you are doing that, then it raises the visibility of all of your stuff. So 50%, liking, commenting, sharing. And again, it's strategic, okay? Not random acts of social media. It is people who are potential strategic partners. It's people who are active on social media. It's people who are in alignment with your message of your own personal core message and values. Because if you're not playing with people who are in alignment with your personal core message, you're not going to want to share their content, right? So you have to think of all those things. So the first place to look is go to your own friends on Facebook. Who do I want to play with? And who do I want to connect with? And who are good power partners for me on social media? And while I'm at it, I'm going to talk about my latest epiphany, that it's really for this particular niche. Again, I'm talking about the whole heart path to growing your business on social media. It's really the same thing on LinkedIn and Instagram. Okay. So whatever you're doing on Facebook, you could be doing the exact same thing on LinkedIn and on Instagram. And what I recommend that you do is, set up sort of like a schedule for yourself of maybe doing a little bit each week. Take all of your Facebook friends. You can either start, if you're mostly on Facebook, then you start on Facebook and you connect with all those people on LinkedIn and Instagram. If you're mostly on LinkedIn, then go connect with all those people on Facebook and Instagram. And because everybody has different connections on all these different social media platforms, but you can use a scheduling program for scheduling your content, but for the liking, commenting, sharing, connecting, you have to do that. You can't schedule that, but it's really the same on all three of those platforms. And you're going to find that that's going to increase your visibility. And, I'm not going to get into LinkedIn specifically on this call, although I do get into that. But, LinkedIn is a really powerful platform for us for this niche in terms of connecting with people, in terms of people. I mean, I'm not sure I would share silly pictures of my kitty or my superhero pictures like I do on Facebook, but I would say 90% of what I share on Facebook, I share on LinkedIn and Instagram. So that's 50% of your time. Okay. So, and it's at least 2 interactions a day. So I used to say 2 posts a day on all your social media. Now, what I say is 2 interactions a day, okay? Which means not just throw a post up and schedule it. It means twice a day, you should be on social media, liking, commenting, sharing, connecting on all of your different platforms. And it's not just phoning it in. It's like really being there, showing up, making a connection that is authentic, okay? So that could be, and the thing is, you don't have to generate your own content. You can share other people's content that's relevant to your ideal clients. Okay. So you don't want to be, I try to avoid random acts of social media as much as possible. Every so often I do share random things but I try to stay in my niche. I always tell people, it's like you have this megaphone, this huge megaphone, and everything that's your brand, and everything you like, comment, and share, everyone you play with on social media, everything you do comes through that brand, so that every single digital footprint that you leave on social media is building your brand. Everybody sees every single thing you do on social media. You like something, it'll say, oh, Laura McKenna liked this. Oh, Elaine Hausman like that. People see every single thing you do. So it's not like you can just, oh, well, I'm just going to like this thing. And don't do random acts of social media because it doesn't benefit you. So that's 50% of your time. Then 40% of your time is educate, inspire, and motivate. And this is where you're not telling people how to do what you sell, because that's what you sell. You're sharing with them why it's important. Okay. Marketing is inspiring people to take action on the thing they need. So you're sharing why it's important. So that's 40% of your time. And that's sharing on your personal and your business, on all of your social media. but it's not selling. Okay. So it's, it could be taking people back to your blog, but it's not a link to your free thing. Okay. And so it's something you can pay someone else to do. It's something that you, as long as you're very involved, you know, you can either, like my company does that for people, and you can hire someone to either help you with that as a strategic consultant or done for you. But if you do get your intern or your nephew or someone who doesn't really know social media, make sure you're super involved so that you know what they're doing, not just like, okay, 2 posts a day and do that, you know, and don't have them speaking for you because people will know. So that's 40% of your time. So there you have 90% of your time on social media is branding yourself, positioning yourself as an expert and building influence. And then 10% of your time is promote. And I recommend promoting a free thing. Okay, so it's promoting a free webinar, it's promoting, you know, you can promote a PDF. If you are going to promote a handout or a PDF or an ebook or something, I recommend doing both something like this and a PDF or something, because, you know, you're going to have the readers and the people who want to watch the video. And so I feel like I get a better response when I do a live thing like this, and I just like to do it better. My other free thing is my Whole Heart Marketing Report, which is my blog. Okay, so I invite people to sign up for my blog to get my free Whole Heart Marketing Report full of non-techie strategies in plain English to grow your online presence, which you guys are all on because you signed up for the class. And I don't say, hey, want to get on my list. I say, would you like to receive my Whole Heart Marketing Report? So I named it and I give it like, and here's what it is. It's not just, do you want to get on my list? So let's see. So I think what, okay, so that's 50% brand yourself, 40% educate, inspire, and motivate, and 10% promote. So when you are doing all of those things, you are not going to have a problem with Facebook shadow banning you, and you're not going to have a problem with people telling you that you're being salesy and icky, and you're going, you know, like my thing is always, you know, 95% give, 5% promote, because the more you give and the more you educate, inspire, and motivate, the more people want more from you. And the new paradigm of marketing, you know, in the old days, marketing was like, well, if I give all this free information, people aren't going to pay me. But the thing is, the truth of it is, when you give all this great information, people say like, wow, I can only imagine what I'm going to get when I pay that person. And so that's what we're doing, is we're, and your email marketing too, you know, it's, if you send out an email every week, and every single email is buy my this, buy my that, sale on this, promoting that, people are going to delete you. They're going to drag you right over to the promotions in Gmail, or they're going to delete you. So what you want to do is you want to be giving mostly. Is there a best time to be online doing the connecting? Great question. So yes, when your people are on. So how do you know when your people are on? Let me show you. I'm going to show you how you know when your people are on. Hold on, I just lost the chat. Whenever you put the shared screen, people, you lose all of the chat and everything. Okay, so you guys can see my shared screen, right? So if you look right here, wait, I'm gonna make this a little smaller. See this right here? And this is a desktop. See the little green dots? That means they're live online right now. Now, it could mean that they just have their phone live, or it could mean that they're really live. So you want to, you're not really sure, but you can see, you can get an idea of when your people are live. So in general, one of the things, I'm going to stop the share. In general, one of the things that I do is my best times to post are 7 in the morning, noon, 3 in the afternoon, 7 at night and 10 at night. I do not post all of those times, but I just know those are the times when the majority of my people are on. And I think those are, I don't know, they're boomer times, and those are my clients, 45 plus. But, you know, so do some market research. You know, how do you do the market research? If you post things and then you see people respond really fast, you're like, oh, okay, this is a good time to post stuff. So I want to just pause here for a minute to see if anyone has any questions about, you know, what we've talked about so far. Elaine and then Debbie. Oops, sorry.
I never heard those words before, shadow banning, and it could be, you know, if I did videos that got hundreds of views, a lot of engagement, and I know sometimes that also has to do with the title, because you know, but and then all of a sudden, it's like the slate has been wiped clean.
Yeah.
It could be I unintentionally did something that seems like promotion, or
Okay, let me ask you some questions. Did you share it on your personal page or in your business page?
what specifically are you asking
The
me?
video.
The video, I shared it on my personal page.
Yep, that is why. You have to be super, super careful right now about what you share on the personal page, because
oh, you mean the freebie or the
even that video, because your videos, they're okay. So
all of my videos I put on my personal page.
right, but even though your videos are free, they're still clearly business. Okay, so it's a distinction that they're not necessarily promotional, but they're clearly business. Like a video that you put on your personal profile that's like, hey everybody, you know, I'm super excited about da-da-da, and it seems like it's more casual, and that's not going to be dinged as quickly as your videos, which are fantastic. But that's where this is for everybody. That is something you want to take to a group, and you really, so that you like, hey everybody, come to my group. I'm going to be da 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 da. Like this right now, I would never do this on my personal profile. I would do it in my group.
And so tell me, if I want to do Facebook Live, clearly I am safer on my business page.
You are. But here's the cool thing. Okay, and this brings me to one other comment, and then I'm coming to Debbie. Facebook Live, what was I going to say? You can
and
do
I'm
it.
going to add something else, Diana. How could I go for 2 years with Facebook having no problem with my videos, and then all of a sudden wiping it clean?
Oh, things have changed so dramatically in the past 2 months.
I can't. So
that's why I started doing this, because it's just like not even sustainable to do a 6-week class anymore, because things have changed so much, because Facebook is getting put under a microscope, and they're like, hey, you know what? We're losing all this money here. We got to figure out where else are we hemorrhaging money. And what they're doing is they want people to do Facebook ads, which in my opinion are not a good idea. And that's all I'll say right now.
Yeah, that's why
and my experience. They're not a good idea in my experience or my opinion.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I want to say a few more things about Elaine's question. Okay. You can do Facebook Lives in an event. So you could offer an event and then do a Facebook Live in your event. You can do Facebook Live in your group. You can do a Facebook Live on your business page, which is a good idea because it will bring more people to your business page. Keep your personal profile sacred for connecting with people, for sharing personal. Whenever I have something that's a businessy thing, I'll share it one time, period. You know, like this webinar, and I'm like so careful. I'm just like, and I almost sometimes don't even share it on my personal page. I share it in other groups that I'm in if I'm active in those groups, but I'm super careful about sharing stuff on my personal page.
Thank you.
Okay.
A whole new configuration.
Yeah. Okay, Debbie.
After all that conversation, Diane, I forgot what I was going to ask, or maybe you already answered it. That's okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, write down your questions, you guys, or else put them in the chat so you don't forget them. But you can always ask me later.
Yeah, thank you.
So another thing I want to say that Elaine made me think of. So another thing that's happening with Facebook, that why you just can't rely on social media. So recently, I was having all these problems with, I work on my computer when I'm at home. I have a PC, Windows 10, and then on my phone, I'll do a lot of stuff, but mostly when I'm teaching classes, I'm teaching Facebook, I'm on my computer. And I was having so many glitches, and I kept going, oh, Facebook's glitchy, and oh, Facebook's glitchy was my mantra. And, now it's here, now it isn't. And it was like, what the hell? Finally, I did some research, and it turns out that Facebook has decided that they are not creating an app to support Windows 10. So if you're on a PC and you have Windows 10, then what's happening, hopefully maybe the next Windows will be better, but right now you're going to find so many glitchy problems. And here's some of the things where you'll find the glitches. You may not be able to find your Facebook Live option for events. You may not be able to find your Facebook Live option for your business page. And so you can always do them on your phone anyway, but you won't see the little live camera sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. So Jill, did you have a question? Were you putting your hand up? Oh, I thought you were waving. So yeah, so just, and that is one of my regular mantras is Facebook is glitchy. So, most of the time, if you can't find the thing or something like this or that happens, just know it's not you. Reset, do a refresh, and move on, and then come back to it. So let's see. Okay, so are there any more questions that you guys have about what we've talked about today? So I would like to hear from each of you, one or two takeaways that you got from today that you feel could really impact your social media experience. So who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
My biggest takeaway is the percentages of time, because I think I'm spending in my group, I spend probably my allotment of time is better in my group than it is on my personal page, because I've spent so much time building that and want to cultivate that I'm not paying attention to the connections on my personal page. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, good. And so your goal would be to get your people from your personal profile to your group.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to say about that, be really careful, you guys, about being too promotional in your group, because all your people in your group see every post. So you don't have to post that much promotion in there. They're going to get annoyed.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's see. The other marketing tools aside from social media. You mean, okay, so you have your website. Is that what you're talking about? Your website, your email marketing, and your social media campaigns, and your message and your funnel, and it's all of those pieces. Yeah. Okay. Who's next? You can go next, Laura. Oh, all right. We'll have Laura, then Elaine, then Rose, then Jill.
So my biggest takeaway is around the call to action, and how often to include a call to action. With the coaching around be loud and proud, I've not been comfortable putting my business stuff on my personal page. And when I have done that, it has felt really not awesome. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the reason, is the call to action part. But I have also, received marketing coaching that every post needs to have a call to action. Like, you're not just putting it on social media. And that doesn't really feel good either. And I think that's some of the reason that my posts just aren't, like, people aren't engaging with them. And I think it's also part of the reason that people aren't seeing them in the first place, because Facebook is putting them, to the back of the algorithm line, because there's a link attached with them that, to register for a workshop or that sort of thing. So very helpful.
Excellent. And, that's that whole thing I was saying about, you read all these things on social media and you get all these, this coaching, and there's all these different philosophies, and like get 10,000 followers on Instagram. Don't even get me started. We're going to get to that in one of these classes. But it's like, yeah, 10,000 followers on Instagram and $5 will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks if you're not doing it right.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
I don't need 10,000 followers. I
Exactly.
need 50
Right.
ideal clients.
Exactly. And the other thing I wanted to say in response to that about the loud and proud thing, because we all heard that, is, so the way I say it is, on your personal page, you're sharing about your passion, and on your business social media, you're sharing about the business. So most of us in this niche, our passion for our business and our passion are very much intertwined. So sharing my passion about my business, like, hey, everybody, I'm super excited. I'm speaking at this event about blah, 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 versus come to my event, here's the link, or I'm so excited. I had 20 people signed up for my webinar today. I get to share my message and da, da, da. So it's like, it's the tone of your posts that is the passion versus the business. Okay, Rose.
For me, can you hear me?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm just testing a new microphone. For me, well, a lot of it has already been covered. The percentages is very important, and also what to post on which business page, personal. I actually have 2 personal pages. I keep one just for my closest family and friends. And when I started mingling the business in there, it didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a lot of family in other countries. I'm originally from Montreal, so it's not relatable to the 5,000 members of my family.
Right.
I'm Italian.
Yeah.
So what I did is I decided to separate that, because I really don't like posting things about my son and our family, things that we keep very, very close knit. However, I did ask a lot of people to like me or to friend me on that as well, with an invitation if they wanted to know more. And many of them have. And I think that's, for me, it served me well, because I can really keep the 2 separate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like business should be mixed up with what I send a message to Belgium or something like that. So, I think this is helping, because now also, what do you put on your business page, what do you put on your personal page is going to help, because
Right.
I'm still in the process of developing the message or the mission behind the business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been very helpful to hear you
Good.
go through that. Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give my little disclaimer, that is against Facebook's terms of service.
Right.
And you're not really supposed to have 2 personal pages. And, I hear you. And, I hear what you're saying, and there's people who do it, but it's just not something that I personally recommend, because, I think first of all, I think we all have enough to keep track of one personal page.
Well,
And as long as you're keeping your, as
they're
long-
not in the same name. Plus, it's
Yeah.
like one has to do with my family and friends.
well, they can't be in the same name, but as long as you're keeping them separate, and as long as you're really as long as you're sharing personal things on your personal business page, your personal,
Yeah.
then
I just
yeah,
don't
it
want
should be
people
fine.
poking around about my
Yeah.
son, and
Sure.
it's just too much information.
Yeah.
Where he goes to school, where
Sure.
all these other
Yeah, I
things
get
that,
it. Some people have, yeah, I hear
because
you.
in my previous business, I had my personal page attached to my business page.
Mhm.
Comments coming in from people and customers, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
hear you.
it was a little, especially at the time when you're looking at 20 years and he's 19 and a half,
Right.
they knew a little too much, like the school and the logo
Yeah,
on his
right.
shirt, and it's like, I don't feel
Yeah,
comfortable.
I
So
hear you.
I had separated it. Yeah. So now I just changed the business, but I keep it separate. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I
Good.
think it's a little safer. Yeah, especially because it's a public page,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jill. Oops, you're muted, Jill.
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay. So my takeaway is also the percentages, and just that would create more intentionality rather than just being random about what I'm posting.
Cool.
So I like how it's broken down.
Good. Good to see you.
You too.
Okay, I'm going to read Laura's question from the here, and then Elaine. One more question. Core message. It's already starting to feel repetitive. Her core message, to share my core message, I'm having to be creative with how I share it, so it's not just the same thing over and over. No, I don't think it should be the same thing over and over again. And I think that's how you sort of, so we're going to get more into this. I'm in the boot camp that I'm going to be teaching, but you have a personal and a business core message. So you can share your personal core message more on your personal profile, and there will be some overlap. I think there is for most of us. And then you can share your business core message on your business and your personal sometimes. But I think it's about expanding your core message and deepening and expanding it, which is what you've already talked about since the beginning. Elaine.
Diana, it was invaluable. I learned so much, and I learned so much about how much I need to rethink and reconfigure how I'm doing things, because clearly, I've come up against the wall, no more, and not even knowing I was doing anything wrong. So I love the rules that you've taught.
Good.
I just love
Good.
it. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. So if it's okay, I would like to share with you guys, if anybody would like to take this to the next level. I am going to share my screen again. I mentioned at the beginning that I have created this Quantum Leap social media bootcamp, and it's going to be once a month. I mean, every other month. And it's going to be 2.5 hours, very hands-on, get it done. Not me talking the whole 2.5 hours, God forbid. And, it'll be template here, do this, here, do that, instructional. And we're really going to dive into what's missing from your current social media messaging, what's missing from all of the different pieces of your social media. And I'm going to come down here to the 4 sessions. And it's going to be like 4 sessions, then there'll be 4 more sessions, and you can come to whichever ones you want, or you can come to all of them. So January 25th, normally it's going to be the third, the third Monday, but January is going to be a little bit later because it's the first of the year. So it's going to be January 25th from 9 to 11:30. The focus is going to be message, content, and editorial calendar. And I'm going to share about how to set up an editorial calendar. We're going to go deeper into the message and the content, and just how to really grow your visibility through your content. Session 2 is marketing funnel, using your social media to promote your freebie. Session 3 is your social media, creating campaigns to grow referrals and clients. Session 4 is how to grow your list with social media. So you can just see a little drop down here. There's you can sign up for each session individually. It's $97. It's normally $247, but right now I'm just selling it for $97. I would love to have you guys in there. And, I just want to tell you that as social media changes, you can probably see that I'm staying on top of what's happening. And so in each of these classes, you're going to get the latest, hottest off the press content of what's working, what's not working, because that's just kind of what I'm all about. And I want to encourage you guys to join my free group, Whole Heart Marketing with Diana Konkoff Morgan. And thank you so much for being here. I'm going to send the recording to everybody and all of you who weren't here, and hope to see you in my Quantum Leap Bootcamp. So
Thank you, Diana.
You're welcome.
Fantastic.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Take care and see you guys soon. And I'll definitely see you on Facebook.
Thank you,
All
Diana.
right, you're welcome. You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.